Part of the reason why we are able to grow crops to feed the entire world is thanks to fertilizers, which are essentially just food for the plants. But how do they work? And are they even good for the environment? In this video, we'll go over why plants need fertilizers, different types of fertilizers, and their environmental impacts. Plants, like all living organisms, need a few crucial elements to survive, which are hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, and potassium. Hydrogen, carbon, and oxygen are readily available from water and air, but plants can't produce nitrogen, phosphorus, nor potassium by themselves, hence why almost all fertilizers contain those three crucial elements. Nitrogen is needed in chlorophyll, which is responsible for photosynthesis, phosphorus makes up the backbone of DNA, and potassium is needed in metabolism and root growth. Plants can survive without fertilizers because there are many microorganisms in the soil that fix those elements into a form that plants can absorb using their roots. However, in order to keep up with feeding the human population, we need fertilizers to supply the sheer amount of those elements needed that the bacteria can't supply. Without them, we will only be able to produce enough food for half of the world's population. Through a technique called the Haber-Bosch process, we are able to convert the nitrogen gas into a product called a urea ammonium nitrate, which is the basis for nitrogen-based fertilizers. This synthetic fertilizer can be absorbed quickly by plants, but can chemically burn the plant roots if applied improperly. On the other hand, organic fertilizers are more expensive and made from dead carbon matter, such as compost and poop, which gets taken up slowly by plants. However, organic fertilizers are crucial for soil health, since they make sure that the microorganisms in the soil are well fed. A healthy microbe in the soil leads to a healthier plant, so providing organic fertilizers is just as important. So now here's a bigger question. Are fertilizers bad for the environment? Short answer, yes, but it's getting a lot better. While organic fertilizers aren't harmful to the environment, 1 to 2% of global carbon dioxide emissions are produced from the energy needed to make synthetic fertilizers. Crops only take up about half the fertilizer supplied, meaning that the rest of it is either taken up by microorganisms and converted into nitrous oxide, a potent greenhouse gas, or ends up as runoff into rivers. As the excess nitrate gets washed into the river and ocean, it causes algae blooms, which block out sunlight and take up a lot of oxygen, suffocating many marine species. Furthermore, the runoff is toxic, killing many fishes and contaminating our drinking water. However, on the bright side, we are getting better at using fertilizers. More factories are switching to renewable energy sources to produce fertilizers, and new techniques of applying them are being developed. This includes using fertilizers that apply slowly, adjusting when they are applied, and using monitoring systems to detect when crops actually need those nutrients. This will help make farms more sustainable while not cutting into crop yields. And there we have it. Fertilizers are essentially just mixes of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that serve as food for the plants. By either converting nitrogen gas or using organic compost, we're able to feed a lot more people in the world, despite the toxicity of nitrogen in synthetic fertilizers. We are getting a lot better at using them sustainably without threatening our food supplies. I hope that y'all have learned something interesting today. Thank you for your time, and stay hydrated.